I suppose this is going to be an audio test, so I'm testing my microphone by almost eating it.
Hi, my name is Daniel.
Oh, this is a whole video. I thought we were testing them.
I think we're testing it. Can you hear me, Rojas?
Yeah, I can.
Are you sure?
Hello, we're Raxo.
And I'm Audi.
We together are Neuron Games.
Woo!
On this, our second episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about Nuka-Cola, or at least a little bit about Fallout, the Godfather, right?
Because we made a small video about that.
And a long video about creating great characters and what that means to us. So, welcome to our podcast. I hope you like it.
Now it's been like, this is the second week of your week, like labor week. I'm gonna say like your work. Yeah, like,
Oh, the second day of our work week. Now it makes sense. Sure.
it's very labor. You're laboring, not like in labor, like child.
I'm not that fat. Okay, yeah.
You're
Okay.
working.
But I am.
But you're not into labor.
Okay, we're doing fine. I think that's what you wanted to hear, probably. I'm kind of tired, though. Are you tired?
That was a week.
With the amount of light that these people are projecting onto me, I'm absolutely not tired. My brain thinks it's 9 a.m. and acts accordingly.
Well, maybe it's because you're drinking Nuka-Cola. Right there.
If you know what? I really would like to know exactly what a Nuka-Cola tastes like. I suppose it would be such a different flavor with some like tanginess to it because maybe it's radioactive or something. It may tickle your tongue as it goes through you. But most of all, the other flavors of Nuka-Cola, the Quartz and the Victory, those are the Quantum, the one that glows in the dark.
Yeah, I guess.
Imagine drinking something that is actually glowing in the dark. I think there is going to be a very limited amount of things that you can do.
Maybe that's the little meaning of drinking something radioactive. That you start glowing too.
I suppose.
What about the sarsaparilla?
Oh, this.
Right? Like for getting cancer.
What is that?
I don't think you're gonna have enough time to develop cancer. You're gonna die from acute radiation poisoning in 2 to 3 days.
Which is worse.
Which is, yeah.
Like a longevity of suffering. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 years of intense suffering, pain, and being with medical things connected to your body, or 3 days of intense agony. I don't know which one is worse, to be honest. I don't know. It's bad. So don't drink. Let's not drink glowing radioactive things,
Indeed.
even though they might look very tasty.
Indeed. So now answering your question about how was our week. Well, I watched for the first time The Godfather.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I suppose it's very great, but I haven't watched it in like 25 years, so I'm not exactly sure how. I don't remember the movie very well, to be honest. I was too little when I saw it. So, The Godfather, yeah. I agree because everyone tells me it's a great movie, not because I've seen the movie so far, at least.
Mhm.
But it's in my queue.
Yeah, I mean, I got that homework from Rojas from the social media team.
That was homework. Watching
That
the
was
movie was homework. I like that kind of homework.
Oh, yeah. But it was like, dude,
Could I take notes?
no, I didn't want to take notes. Like,
Was there a quiz after?
no quiz. But
Best
there
kind
was.
Best kind of homework. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue.
Watch a
with that.
movie, no quiz, no notes, no exam, no
I
nothing.
think more than a homework, it's study for an oral exam.
Yes, it was.
All right.
Mhm.
It helped a lot.
Indeed. What we're talking about.
But why were you watching The Godfather?
Exactly. No. I mean, it was a rhetoric question. But
Oh,
thank you
right,
for,
sorry.
but thank you for answering. I really need that. I watched The Godfather because the social media team
Mhm.
asked me to interpret it. No, interpret. What was the word?
You were going to play a role
There you go. To play a role.
in one of our videos.
Yes.
Okay.
indeed, Of none other than Don Corleone.
Don Vito Corleone.
Don Vito Corleone. Okay, I
no.
don't know if that's if that's a correct thing to do.
Like Vito Corleone is like the biggest of the Mothman character set, right? Like
Indeed.
the reference, the point of reference for some and young.
He is the Godfather. Yeah,
He's the Godfather.
literally and
But
figuratively.
do you have like a character pop out in your head? Like I like this character a lot. Like his arc, his redemption, or just like how it's presented.
I mean, he's asking like any kind of character that comes up to your mind. Not in that
Yeah,
sense.
well, immediately the figure of Baron Vladimir Harkonnen came to mind. He's something I think on those lines, and he was incredible. Even though I don't recall the exact and complete arc of Don Vito Corleone because I don't remember watching the three movies like any time recently, like let's say recently. But I imagine it might be something like he's the mastermind behind everything until he's not, until he's deposed, and I suppose, spoilers alert, maybe, I don't know, I'm just making this up, killed by someone else, and then someone else has to take his role, and then the role perpetuates. So that's what popped into my head immediately, like Baron Harkonnen.
I think that
From
you're
Dune.
very close to that. You're very close to that. Of course, we're not gonna spoil the movie for anyone who hasn't seen it. But you know,
22 years old. For anyone
Yeah,
listening.
yeah,
but
I know.
you know, it came out in 1974. Like
Really?
we're pretty late into the game, so we got spoilers like seriously, like,
1974.
according to Netflix. You know, according to Netflix.
1974. Seriously.
Yeah, so I was just like watching it, and I was like, huh, this is kind of like those old movies like Kubrick. Like there's nothing happening in the beginning.
There's nothing happening. Okay.
In the beginning, and then an hour after the movie, it starts to get very interesting. It happened to me. I was
After
like,
the movie, it got interesting after you finished the movie.
did I say that?
Movies.
Well, like yeah, like we're gonna get a lot of backlash, man. So
Well, sorry about
clarify.
that. I'm gonna clarify it. After an hour that I started watching the movie,
Oh, okay, okay.
it started to get interesting. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna finish it watching it because it's 3 hours long. The movie
It's three. Okay, yeah, I think it's reasonable for a good movie.
for a good movie, yeah. But it's like I don't know if I'm gonna like it, which I don't know. It was naive in my thinking of thinking like that. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'll prefer to watch The Lord of the Rings because I know it's pretty good. But
It's another 3-hour movie.
Well, hey, we need to take risk and try new things, right?
Okay, I suppose that's yeah.
And I came out pretty happy with it, to be honest.
And what about the role you played?
The role that I played, it was excellent. I was happy with it. It's like I took it's like someone like Rojas came to me and like, hey, you're gonna be Don Corleone. I'm like, okay,
All right.
I have never seen the movie. and then he said, you know, you better watch it. I'm gonna put it for you in the homework, so you gotta watch. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to watch.
So you
it,
have a
but-
homework folder where people can put things so that you do them.
Yeah, you haven't heard?
I mean, now that I think about it, it might be, tell me where the thing is located so I can stuff things there too as well.
Anyways, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch it, and then I got so inspired, like, yeah, I can be like it. I can do that.
And you decided to turn into a life of crime.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
I failed.
You failed. Okay, so
I failed. I said,
you were only inspired, and then you tried it for a day, and then you decided it was not for you. You came back.
Well, I meant to say failed, but I know that you heard failed. But yeah, I still failed.
You said okay. You said what? You
I failed.
failed. Oh, all right. But
I would-
what did you feel?
Why did I fail? I failed like a Hollywood actor.
Oh, because of the lighting,
Because
of the
what they did to
camera.
me.
So you're not camera shy.
No.
No. Were you ever camera shy? Or I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was camera shy
when
I was
5 years old.
no during the pandemic. I was always afraid to be behind the camera. Just kidding. You know, there's sometimes like the professors ask you to do an exposition. You know?
Yep.
Gave a presentation. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be behind the camera. And
You gave presentations in front of the camera when you were in high, like in school.
doing my master's degree.
That was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I was like, this is serious. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna do my best. And it came out natural. And that's what I learned from the social media team. It's like
Act
everything
natural.
needs to act natural.
Even if you don't know anything about it.
Exactly.
And your problems are just the
Make it so you
brushed
like it,
away.
guys.
Duh.
Okay. That's I suppose that's a good advice.
It is. It is.
Okay, yeah. So
Also, in the rest video, we also got out a first large.
our first
We
large.
also talk about characters. So I don't know if you guys want to talk like your favorite character ever, or something along the lines of, in this particular moment of my life, I was so similar to this character. I shared flaws, I shared like experiences, and any type of thing that makes like I feel like this is a good character.
What is the best character ever for you? That's a great question. That's a really that's food for thought.
Yeah,
What is-
it is hard. Walter.
Walter
Oh,
White.
but I mean, no. I mean, Walter White might be a very good example, but I mean, not of all media across all media that you've ever consumed. I suppose that's what you meant. Okay, yeah, not your D&D character. We mean your favorite character. Period.
Walter White. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, I was joking. But that is a good question. And my answer is easy, to be honest.
Really?
I just came out of my.
Can I guess?
Yes,
Darth Vader.
of course.
Yes.
Yes, it is Darth Vader.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
there's a reason why he's stuck with everyone for like 30 years.
Exactly.
When was the first Star Wars aired? The first
Oh.
movie, episode 4. Was it in the 90s? No?
No,
80s?
it was- no.
70s?
I think it was 70s, if I'm not wrong.
Okay. So like The Godfather was on the same decade as The Godfather.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. But before I get into it about why I like Darth Vader, how about yours? Do you want me to guess? It's gonna be hard for me.
It's gonna be hard for me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Guess.
You know, what is the name of the protagonist of My Little Pony?
It's Sunshine.
Yeah, Sunshine.
God damn it! How?
That's it.
Oh no!
Okay, we need to start with you.
I have an
Like,
idea because
Mhm.
I think that you thought that you told me, I don't know when, that it was some character of Doom. And it was the right hand man of the Emperor. But it's one quasi Haderach, but it didn't make it.
Casimir Fenring, Count Casimir Fenring, the right hand of the emperor of the Emperor of House Corino.
Along those lines, or
He's a very cool character, but I think it's one of my favorite in Dune. In Dune, but in general, across all media, across the whole spectrum, I think it might be the monolith.
the monolith
Yes.
from Space Odyssey
from,
2000.
from the book, because
Oh.
it's essentially the same thing, but Arthur C. Clarke, one of the best writers of all time, insofar as I'm concerned, at least for science fiction, wrote a very strange and a very unique, let's say, like character in the monolith that helps the humanity turn into what we have become now
Okay.
and into the future.
Oh, interesting.
And I think or it could also be from 2001, Hold 9000. It
Yeah,
could
of
be
course.
like it's on those lines. Like might be the monolith because I really like. Well, it doesn't have like a character development, but it's such a powerful force. And it has this alien personality intrinsic to this alien artifact or being that pushes the simians to evolve.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I think there's a very nice counterpart to Hall, which is a human creation that is the most human of the characters inside the movie, at least.
Okay, that's
So
interesting.
That's and it's a very cool character because it doesn't speak too much. There's not a lot of lines that he says,
Mhm.
and he still manages to show more personality than the humans he interacts with. And he has spoilers as well, but this movie is even older than Star
Wow.
Wars and The Godfather, so I think it's very difficult for someone to not have seen it. So he dies in the end.
No way.
Yeah, yeah, they have to shut it down. He sings as he's being killed, essentially by brain death. It's a
Oh.
very hard. It's a very hard scene. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite characters. And aside from that, I don't know. He might be someone of Dune. Actually, might be someone of Dune, but that's close second, I think.
Yeah, I think more like you, or maybe if I were more like you, I would have choose Hall. I don't know the monolith. I have never read a book though. Now I'm intrigued by it.
It's not a difficult book to read, and it adds a lot about the movie. It adds things that Kubrick couldn't do because of the technical limitations they have on their age.
Yep.
And it's like a compliment. It's like a DLC.
Okay,
It's
interesting.
literally like a DLC, but it takes you quite a while to download because you have to read all the script, and then you sort of put it on top of your understanding of the movie, and then everything becomes better. So it's a very good DLC, let's say.
Yeah, you better buy it.
I
I
mean,
think it's a book.
But we also
Yeah.
the long video that we just released.
Oh, the long
In
video.
description.
Yeah.
You can point that because I'm not on camera, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
We also talked about how to improve your D&D characters.
Yes.
So you in making the video and writing it with me and filming it and stuff. Do you know or do you think how would you use the tips that we use in video in real life? Like any examples that you want to experiment on it?
In real life, do you mean like
In a
by
session.
in a D&D character session? Well, the video, if you haven't seen it, talks about how to make better characters that feel more humane, and we give some axioms to help the character feel more realistic. But I did it the other way around. I didn't do it. We don't first make it so that I don't make the video first and then I apply it. First, I have all of these things that I do, and
Okay.
all of them, and then I condense them into the video, into what makes the video. Let's say the essence of the video, and then I write it. So
Alright.
I have already used it since years ago
Mhm.
in some of my sessions.
All right.
So for example, in some of my campaigns, there are characters that I don't like. Let's say if I'm reading one of the Adventures to Prepare, like Curse of Strahd, for example, I read a character, I don't really like it because he seems too one-dimensional,
Okay.
and he's a very important character, let's say. So I rebuild it, let's say, and I've been using those principles and axioms since I started playing D&D, which
Okay.
is what, 2018, 2016, something like that.
Yes, indeed. But now I'm intrigued. What was that character?
Well, I do it with mostly everyone. I did it with Escher, which is one of the vampire companions or slaves, companions / slaves that Strahd has on his castle. I made the same thing with the 3 vampires. Yeah.
Is it that same slave that our friend Luis
Nope,
asked
no,
him to
no,
enter the
that's
house?
no. He's called Rahadin or Rahadin. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Okay.
So sort of a Russian name, I suppose. I don't know.
Mhm.
And no, that's a different one. But I also reworked Rahadin.
Okay. And that's the thing, and I'm gonna commend it to you, and I can confirm it from the video that I already watched and even listened like 3 times, 4 times. Your characters are alive. You always make them feel more, no more like one-dimensional, not even two-dimensional for me. Sometimes you go for the 3-dimensional.
Well, yeah, that's the idea.
Sorry.
But now I'm curious. Have you ever applied anything like you've watched the video several times? You sort of know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm speaking in the video. Have you ever applied either subconsciously or let's say not intentionally one of the principles or axioms that I described in the video?
Walter.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, I think I think I even created characters without me realizing it, that they were already very two or even three-dimensional. And I mentioned Walter because it's one of my favorite D&D characters. Uh, Walter came from inspiration from a video game that is called Fire Emblem Awakening.
Oh, it comes from a Fire Emblem game.
Exactly. And the character that I'm referring to is Virion. Who is Virion, you ask?
Oh,
So you mentioned your video, like you even made a joke with appearing the two members of the social media team that like, okay, you're not gonna make a fighter with a noble background.
oh, in one of our comical videos, yes,
exactly.
community videos, yeah.
So Virion or Walter, he was a nobleman.
Okay.
And you say, okay, yeah, he's a nobleman. And then I saw that in the video game he was an archer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, what is the class that fits perfectly for an archer?
The wizard.
I think you meant to say ranger. But
Okay, yeah.
I'll forget that you say wizard.
Yeah.
And then I applied to that class, and I applied even his background from the video game in the same world that my brother was running.
Obviously, it was a custom campaign, right?
Yes,
It was set in Albion. Right?
Indeed.
But the Albion of the high fantasy Fable games,
Yep,
right?
Fable
Okay,
games.
yeah,
Exactly.
got it.
That's
yeah.
correct.
Okay, so that's the setting. So
Indeed.
it's sort of high fantasy setting. It's not the Albion from the medieval England.
Yeah, no.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Great. Fine.
And well, you can even answer me this following question.
Okay.
My first ever caster was One Run. You remember One Run?
Yes, it was for my Tamriel campaign.
Indeed.
Yes, I remember.
And
Fighter.
and there's this Walter.
Yes.
For you, whoever was the most intriguing or most interesting character for you that I even role play, how can I say it? Not correctly, but more passionately.
Well, more passionately, certainly it was the one that was not wandering.
Walter.
Walter, yes, Walter.
Walter, the legendary archer, where he puts the art in archer.
That's absolutely that's more passionate than wandering. Yeah.
And I think because I put it thought on the character, and I was like, I really like this kind of character. I'm gonna give it my best to give it life.
And what principles do you think are reflected better on Walter?
Principles.
Like what makes it a good character?
His background. Why is his background? Is like he escaped from his homeland because he felt dishonored, because he escaped from someone. That conqueror was Wolhart. He escaped from his homeland because Wolhart conquered his land.
Okay, so an enemy of his.
Exactly. And then he went to other lands so he can regain his honor and come back to his homeland and liberate his people. But he needed to prove himself that he's not just how can I say it? He's represented like he always woo women.
Okay.
But he's not like he's doing it because he only likes women. It's not. He's trying to find himself or how to honor himself by honoring he said creatures, but the creature that he loves, which is the women. But he treats them with respect, with loyalty, with noble. Even though,
are we the baddies?
I mean, are we really the baddies if you have your own way of thought?
I mean, if I think, let's not get into that branch. Yeah. So okay, so he's special because of his background, and then and then you made it evolve. The idea is that the character is unique, not because he has a quest to regain his honor, right? But because of how he does that, right?
Exactly.
How does he? How do you play an interesting character? One thing is his background, but
you put in your shoe, you put yourself in their shoes. I think that's the point of it.
okay,
Because going back to your video, it's like you can do a min max character,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be just a rogue that do the what was the power of the rogues?
Sneak
That
attack.
makes sneak attack. Thank you. The sneak attack, and there you go. You have a rogue that kills every monster. But if you start with an idea of a character that you are passionate, in this case, he was a nobleman that he likes the bow and arrows,
Yeah.
and tries to find his 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 way to make himself noble, and yeah, a noble man, so he can regain his honor. That what I was looking for. Right? That he goes to regain his honor. Then you adapt the system to the D&D system, so you can make that character.
How did you adapt it?
Well, like I said, if he's a noble, what do you grab?
Noble
Noble
background,
background. If he's an archer, what do you grab?
wizard. Okay, I mean a ranger. Yeah, of course.
A ranger. And then you have that template. Like, okay, now I put in the background, which is that is the character that makes them alive, makes him alive.
Okay.
Hey guys, I think for closing this episode,
Yeah.
I want to read you some comments.
Mhm.
You just respond.
All right.
And I'm gonna read you the first.
I hate you all. I hope you die now.
That's the second one.
Okay.
Oh, you already read it.
I mean,
You're
I
right.
got ready for them. Got ready for the backlash.
Pay double to the editor. Yeah. From the videos. Here's a cut.
Will you please pay more to the editor? To which editor? To the what?
From the videos.
Oh, to the video editor, of course. Yeah, of course.
And the answer is.
Yeah, and the answer is we are going to get into that with the appropriate guy, which is the accountant.
I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's we'll get into that later. Something about monetary things that we cannot discuss publicly.
Sure we can. We're
I-
zeros.
We don't have money.
Sure we can.
Not yet, anyways.
Not yet. Yeah. Give us 2 days.
Like global warming. It's inevitable. It's inevitable, but you have enough time.
The what? The what?
Global.
Oh, global warming.
You see the heat coming, but you're just like, yeah, next month.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're at 100 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Yeah, maybe next month we'll deal with it. Next
Yeah,
year.
next year. So you technical difficulties, please. Out to the video editor. Actually, can you put the please stand by from the Fallout games? Well, this happens. Here we go. Okay.
I don't care too much about having an awesome character. I use it to explore parts of me that I can't explore outside of the game. Usually, I don't play characters. I'm more of a geek.
Well, were those 2 comments or was that one?
What's one?
But he changed it abruptly.
Okay, I understand. I understand. Well, even if you're not playing the characters a lot, or you're not interested in playing characters, but in exploring the different characteristics that any person can have, the axioms and the ideas that we gave you are not only to develop your own characters or to play as yourself, but on the contrary, so you can play anyone. And the idea is that there are traits that come with great characters, and that's one of the things that we try to show on the video. There are many things that are tied together, and if you are able to see them and use them consciously during the games, you are going to be able to create a great character, even if you like it doesn't bar you from exploring things that you couldn't or wouldn't do yourself. On the contrary, those help you do and deal with the problems that creates. And if you're a DM, you can absolutely use the principles to create NPCs. And those contradictions and the traits that we gave you are going to absolutely hook the players, because that way they're going to be able to feel the NPC as a more real thing and not a video game NPC that just repeats the dialogue over and over every time you ask him. That's the idea. And you don't need, the idea is that you don't need pages and pages and pages of characters so that you can create a very cool one. You just need these pairs or these axioms that we gave you so that you can create a great character, and so that you can improvise them, because we're trying, with the video, we're trying to make emergent diversity, let's say.
Exactly. And that was you stole my answer to that comment. It's like, even though you're not much of doing players, or playing a character as a player, but you're still a DM, you're still playing a character.
You're still playing a lot of characters, yeah.
And that's what I said to Oscar. Like, whenever I play with him as a DM, his character feels alive. So I think it's a very good thing that you came up with a video, because those axioms helps you to go beyond. It does not limit you.
Okay. That's the idea. What else? Yeah. That's the top-rated comment.
I don't know if you want to make like a video diary of this. Like, next week we're supposed to do this and this and this, and next episode you can always start with, okay, we didn't do shit.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea, but I have no idea where we're supposed to do next. Like, you mean for the next topic of the?
Not topic, like more like a company type of, like this
like, I think that would be a great idea if I had 5 minutes to think about our next goals for the week.
Mm-hmm. Because probably I really want the people to know that I'm running a campaign of Fire Emblem, talking about Fire Emblem. But I don't think this week we're gonna play, because we're gonna play your game, even though
which game? Okay, yeah.
Maybe this week neither, but 1 week. And for me, it will be awesome to have diaries, something like that. I agree with it.
So for next episode,
absolutely. Our goals for next episode are going to be having goals for the next episode.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's it. That's it. We're going to close on that note.
Woo!